Hello everyone, welcome back to another nightly review. Today I will be going over the Golden Knights 3-2 overtime victory to the Arizona Coyotes. So let's get into it. One thing, this video is a little late. I hit AP tests. I'm sorry. There's no way I was doing the video yesterday. No way. So let's get into it. So Fleury versus Kemper. Marchessault would be back in the lineup. And they had Nick Waugh playing, they had Alex Tuch playing center on the third line, with Yurko and Sakura still in the lineup. Now, I have one question. Where's Nick Waugh? Like, he's scratched, or on the taxi squad or whatever. He's not playing in the AHL. Why is he not playing? Because I'd rather have Nick Waugh than Yurko. Yeah, kind of weird. I don't know if this team soured on him or if they just don't think he's ready yet, but weird that he's not in the lineup. Also, yeah. So anyway, let's get into the actual game. So Mark Stone would get a chance early, then Smith would get a tip. And at this point in the game, the Golden Knights really were the better team. And they came out and they played. This is the game they should have played earlier. This is the game they should have played the first game of the series. They looked horrible that first game. This game, not so much. They looked pretty good. There were some moments in a certain period that we'll get to. I wouldn't say they played bad, just things didn't go their way. So after that, Smith would hook Schmaltz. Great penalty kill from the Golden Knights. 0 shots from the Coyotes. Then Marchessault would get a chance after that penalty would be over. And then we Chapu with a cross-check on Dylan Sakura. On that power play, Marchessault would hit a post, and Carlson would whiff on a big chance, but the power play would end, but not long after. William Karlsson would score from Marchessault and Smith. It would be a tip off of Carlson's skate, and there you go, 1-0. Shots after that goal, 12-1 for the Golden Knights. They were dominating this game. Kolasar's chance was then blocked. Stevenson was then robbed by Darcy Kemper. Pacioretty would miss on a really big chance. Fleury would stop a deflected puck, and then Carrier would get a chance. But that would lead to the end of the period. Shots in the first, 16-3 for the Golden Knights. Chances were 19-4, and high danger chances were 5-1. That just tells you how dominant of a period it was. It would not continue, but it's okay. Then Stone would interfere with Chychrun early in the second period. Stevenson and Janmark would get a really big shorthanded chance, but that really was all that happened on that penalty kill. Yurko would then hit the post, but not long after, Mark Stone would get his 20th goal of the season from Pacioretty and Stevenson. Just a great play all around, great passing, and they flew in and scored. Theodore would then get a chance after that, and then Oliver Ekman-Larsson would interfere with Sakura. I don't know what the Coyotes' problem with Sakura was. Janmark would whiff on a chance, but then Larson would whiff on a chance shorthanded. So, yeah, that was the end of that power play. Fleury would then stop Clayton Keller. McNabb would then he blocked a shot. He didn't even miss a shift. He went off, and he was struggling to get off, but he didn't miss a shift, and he played the rest of the game. So, yeah. Then Sakura would get a chance. Kemper would then stop Pacioretty, and by that point, McNabb had returned. Stone would then get an interference call, and Clayton Keller would get a holding call for some 4-on-4. Most of that 4-on-4, though, would happen in the third period. So after the second period, the Golden Knights are up 2-0, but they were outshot in the second period, 11-8. So they're winning the game. They've been out shooting the Coyotes. I think this game's pretty over. So apparently Pacioretty's been battling an injury, and he's not 100%. So they're like, well, we're up 2 against the Coyotes. We're not gonna play him in the third, so we're gonna rest him. I'm like, okay, that's a valid point. I'm fine with that. As long as he plays against the Wild tonight, that's fine. So on that 4-on-4, nothing really would happen. Fleury would then stop Kessel on the breakaway. Then Hagen Stevenson would get a 2-on-1. But going the other way, Christian Fischer would score from Lawson Krause and Jacob Chikrin to make it 2-1. And immediately after, Fleury would rob Schmaltz. Okay. The Coyotes had all the momentum at this point. Then Krause would hook Stone. Martinez would get a pretty good chance on that power play. Then Haig would rough Brassard in an idiotic penalty to take at that point in the game. You're one shot difference, and this game's tied, and you take a penalty like that. That was a pretty bad call. Bad penalty, not a bad call. But, of course, the Coyotes would score. It would be Christian Dvorak from Clayton Keller. So, yeah. And I believe Ekman Larsson was the secondary assist on that. So it's 2-2. And with about 2 minutes left in the period, Marchessault slashes Krause. No, I didn't think it was that bad of a slash. It wasn't a dumb penalty to take. But you can't take a penalty there. So after the third, the Golden Knights, it's tied 2-2. They outshot the Coyotes actually 8-5 in that period, which is kind of weird considering that the Coyotes got 2 goals on 5 shots. Anyway, Stevenson in the overtime would get a chance, but then the Coyotes in overtime would take a too many men call, and on that power play, it would be Jonathan Marchessault getting the overtime winner from Alex Pietrangelo. And there you have it. The Golden Knights take this one 3-2. They outshot the Coyotes in the overtime 2-0. Total shots in the game 34-21 for the Golden Knights. Power plays, the Golden Knights were 1 for 5, and the Coyotes were 1 for 4. 3 stars, Marchessault, Stone, and Fleury. I thought all 3 of those players had pretty good games. Fleury had a pretty good game in general. He made some good saves, especially in the first period he made a good save. And in the second period, he made some good saves. But, yeah, overall, a pretty good game for the Golden Knights. I didn't like that it went to overtime. It was a little harder than it needed to be. But they get the win. And the Coyotes at this point, I believe they're still 3 points back with... I mean, there's a chance. But I'm pretty sure St. Louis has games in hand. So, I don't know if the Coyotes are going to make this, but we'll see how it goes. Last thing I want to cover, Marc-Andre Fleury has tied Roberto Luongo for wins for wins all time. So Fleury is now tied for 3rd all time in goalie wins. Pretty big accomplishment there. We'll see if the game on Wednesday he can get his next win. So with that out of the way, that is it for this one, guys. I will, if you want to get my thoughts on the game during the game, you can follow me on Twitter at 2_pad. And that is it for this one, guys. I will see you next time.